A little more than a month from the municipal election, the candidates for mayor here in Edmonton have sort of struggled to separate themselves, and many believe no clear frontrunner has emerged. Najib Jutt is a political strategist who has worked on many campaigns and joins us this morning for some insight. So, Najib, 5 candidates participating in a debate on Friday night. Do you think there was a winner there?
No, I mean, every camp has issued their statement saying that they won. I don't think there was a clear winner. I think there was some separation in terms of ideas and maybe along the political spectrum with, Andrew Knack, I think, being seen as the most progressive out of the 5 up there. But in terms of a clear winner, no, I wouldn't say there was. I mean, there's a lot of, similar ideas, old stuff that we've seen and heard before, a lot of rhetoric and sloganeering. But I would struggle to say that there was an actual clear winner.
So we had 2 candidates up there who have not been on council recently, Rahim Jaffer and Omar Mohammed. Do you think they did enough to sort of make a name for themselves in this debate?
Well, Rahim is a polished politician, right? I mean, he was MP for quite a while. It's been a while since he was, but I mean, he knows what he's doing in terms of campaigning. But he needs to have a better understanding of how municipal politics work. He could accidentally, I feel like, if Tim Cartmell's campaign still, continues to be lackluster, Rahim could pull some of that conservative vote, as being a diehard conservative that he is. Omar Mohammed, I mean, Omar's doing a great job getting attention. He got up on the stage as a newcomer, probably, the only, non-establishment sort of politician up there. He's good at getting attention, but, like the saying goes, once you got attention, you better know something. And it's pretty clear with him that he doesn't really understand municipal politics. He doesn't understand the difference between an operating budget and a capital budget and how the Municipal Governance Act works. And it's important to understand like these little things that are very, very different from other levels of government.
Now, Tim Cartmell certainly flexed some of that knowledge during the debate and has done so through the campaign. So too has Andrew Knack and Michael Walters. Of those 3, has anyone been able to sort of push themselves ahead?
Well, I think that Andrew Knack is, he's kind of setting himself apart as being the only really progressive candidate, as far as it goes, which is easy to do because everybody else is sort of lumped in the center or on the right looking for that conservative vote, which, is baffling to me because, Edmonton has traditionally had progressive mayors, especially the last 2 of what you would consider to be progressive mayors. So, and also, the space is on the left, everybody else is crowding on the right. So I'm not sure. I mean, part of it, I think their ideologies, there's nothing they can do about it. But I think there's a real room to have some more progressive ideas and more progressive policies. It can't just keep continuing being about cutting taxes. I think smart voter knows that when politicians talk about cutting taxes on the campaign trail, it never happens. When in the history have we cut taxes? Have taxes gone down? When in history has debt gone down? What people want to see is some good ideas around responsible spending.
Okay, well, we certainly will be closely watching as this progresses towards voting in October. We certainly appreciate your insight, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again.
Thanks so much, Ken.